Okay. We are in Davos at the World Economic Forum. And the Trump administration and myself, we are here to make a very clear point. Globalization has failed the West and the United States of America.
Does this logic of what's good for America is good for the world convince in this extraordinarily strong, extremely eloquent expression that we've just heard?
You go first.
Thank you. Thanks, Francois-Philippe.
We're friends.
So I'm very struck by and taken by the idea of putting your own country first and considering your own security and resilience. I think it's about 3 years ago now.
That's the goal of this year's World Economic Forum at Davos, to expose people to wider ranges of voices, to a wider range of ideas, maybe even an argument, but one that we have deeper understanding from. And I think not all of it's going to sound as good as the one that you enjoyed at that moment, like in music. And like in music, you're not going to agree with everything. But if you're willing to listen, it might leave something with you inside. It might stay with you. And maybe you will evolve and be better for it. And that's the mission of the World Economic Forum this week in Davos.
All right, everybody, another Trump smackdown is on the way.
Yes, the World Economic Forum is going on, and a lot is actually happening. I've been watching their speeches, what they put out. Everybody is mentioning United States, Trump. When you take a look at these, European leaders are in utter panic on Greenland in Davos, begging Comment Secretary Hall to talk more about Greenland. Like you have seen here, I'm going to play the complete video so you can see exactly what actually went on. At a certain point, you can clearly see that these people are panicking.
Can I bring you back to Greenland?
No. Our allies, with our friends, and with everyone, how they work it out. But the Western Hemisphere matters to the United States of America. And the United States of America, as I've just articulated, really, really matters to the world. When America shines, the world shines, because they all need to make sure America is strong and powerful to take care of them, God forbid. And so I think America and the Western Hemisphere are vital to America, and I'm going to leave that to my national security people to address.
Right. The rest of us, I think, are finding it harder to make that kind of separation clearly. And I would be curious to know how the representatives of the UK and Canada might want to think about these issues. Do you see them as starkly divided, as Secretary Lucknick would like us to have them? Does this logic of what's good for America is good for the world convince in this extraordinarily strong, extremely eloquent expression that we've just heard?
You go first.
Thank you. Thanks, Francois-Philippe.
We're friends.
So I'm very struck by and taken by the idea of putting your own country first and considering your own security and resilience. I think it's about 3 years ago now that I gave a speech where I coined the term securonomics.
You have seen Trump over and over doing this. These people will say, oh, we will retaliate, we will do this, we will do that. At the end of the day, they will come to the table and negotiate. I believe this is a strategy Trump has been using for a long time that I've observed. If you look clearly in Europe, some people are already panicking. Germany sent in troops in Greenland just a day after Trump came in with this issue of tariffs.
Secretary, let me begin on trade and tariffs, because President Trump seemed to set the tone of conversation even before he has arrived by threatening tariffs on our European allies until they support his plans to acquire Greenland. How do you justify taking over a country when, in fact, Denmark and Greenland have said they are not interested.
Well, Maria, I think the president has a very strong view on Western hemispheric security and believes that the U.S. should not outsource our national security. He believes that Greenland is essential for the Golden Dome missile shield. And he also, the president, as usual, it's the move after the move that as part of NATO, I think the president is worried that if there were an incursion into Greenland, the U.S. would be called upon to defend Greenland. Greenland's becoming more and more attractive for foreign conquest, and he very strongly believes that it must be part of the United States to prevent a conflict rather than getting the U.S. engaged in ex post into a hot conflict.
This is as well a shift towards a world without effective collective governance, and where multilateralism is weakened by powers that obstruct it or turn away from it, and rules are undermined. And I can multiply the examples of international bodies weakened or left by the key economies. We are killing the structure where we can fix the situation and the common challenges we have. Without collective governance, cooperation gives way to relentless competition. Competition from the United States of America through trade agreements that undermine our export interests, demand maximum concessions, and openly aim to weaken and subordinate Europe, combined with an endless accumulation of new tariffs that are fundamentally unacceptable, even more so when they are used as leverage against territorial sovereignty.
And that's the goal of this year's World Economic Forum at Davos, to expose people to wider ranges of voices, to a wider range of ideas.
This is coming from Canada. If great powers abandon even the pretense of rules and values for the unhindered pursuit of their power and interests, the gains from transactionalism will become harder to replicate. Connie's speech at Davos is an extended criticism of the damage Trump is doing, though he is not mentioning his name. Like I said, everybody came here to just express themselves, talking against Trump. That is their aim. I'm still waiting to see what Trump is going to say to these people. At some point, they are now tilting toward China. I saw this guy the other day in China. Macron, like you just saw, is also pushing France, Europe to China. I don't know. I don't want to go into all that. And the last clip you saw, BlackRock CEO, he is actually giving out the essence of World Economic Forum this year. I used to see Klaus Schwab, saying things like that. But this year, I did not see the guy. I think I'm going to end here. I don't want to make the video long. As of the short clips you're going to see at the end, that is for the YT algorithm. You can always end here. I'll be updating you what is happening in Davos.
See, I think that this is the end of it now for him. It has to be. And Americans need to step up now. It's not enough to go into the streets. It's not enough to vote. I believe that people need to start calling their congressmen and their senators. I mean, he has eroded civil rights at this point.
I think that when it comes to, I know Whoopi was talking about the 25th Amendment, and a lot of people are saying maybe what's happening is that he's losing it a little bit.
The short clips you see at the end, that is for the YT algorithm. I'm always pleading. Please always share out the videos. It helps boost the channel so videos can be recommended.
They just make it worse.
Bill Maher, you give us so much. But
also wearing a Be Good pin for Renee Good, obviously. And just
so much nonsense. I'm pissed off that a queer black woman is up here doing the job of two mediocre.
Power of the law, and that no one stands above it.
I don't see both sides in a dogmatic.
The Golden Globe for Best Editing goes to the Justice Department.
This is for her. This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
Yes. Of course, this is for the mother.
Babies are upstairs watching. Y'all better be off them damn phones and watching me.
Them. Thank you, everyone. I'm a little in shock.
There you go.
$1,500.
If they get the.
Well,
I want to see
it is
them
coming.
get it.
MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Robin.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
You and your husband were friends with Robin Michelle Reiner, and
everybody knew that wasn't true. A dangerous relative as a likely suspect. A tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on Zone. In one instance, she said, "We should have said nothing."
The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Absolute horror.
Hi, Mel Gibson. I'm in Italy.
There is a quota system. Lasting conversation too.
Yes.
It's like
do what y'all did. Understand God was on your side. Y'all take every